Does consuming protein before sleep accelerate muscle growth? You probably already know that protein is essential for muscle growth, but a major doubt still persists. Since rest time is when the body builds muscle, does consuming protein before sleeping increase muscle growth? Or is it not worth eating before bed to avoid disrupting sleep? Stay attentive until the end because we'll discover not only if it works, but also which type of protein might be more efficient for this specific moment. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city from where you're watching our content. Well, before we talk specifically about pre-sleep protein, we need to understand the basics. Muscle grows when training stimulus causes micro-tears in the fibers, and the body, with the right nutrients available, repairs these tears, making the fibers stronger and thicker, which we call hypertrophy. Much of this reconstruction happens during sleep. Why? Because it's when the body releases significant amounts of growth hormone, testosterone, and other anabolic hormones. Deep sleep is literally the most intense muscle-building moment of your day. If the body needs proteins to build muscles, and construction happens mainly during sleep, it makes sense to think that having amino acids available during this window would be advantageous, right? But does science confirm this? In 2016, researchers conducted pioneering research to examine the impact of nighttime protein consumption on muscle protein synthesis rates during sleep. They discovered something fascinating. Protein consumed before bed provided amino acids that served as precursors for building new myofibrillar proteins throughout the night. In other words, the body was actively using those amino acids to build muscle while you slept. It wasn't just a matter of reaching your daily protein goal. The specific timing of consumption before sleep showed additional benefits. This study was one of the first to clearly demonstrate that the sleep window represents a unique opportunity to optimize muscle recovery. And in at least 5 subsequent studies on pre-sleep protein intake, casein tended to be the favorite choice. Why casein? Because it's digested more slowly than whey or most other protein sources. The logic was that a slow-digesting protein would release amino acids steadily throughout the night, fueling protein synthesis for longer. It seemed to make sense, but is it really the best option? Although some studies have compared different proteins, none had directly tested the effectiveness of different sources when consumed immediately before bed until recently. This is where we enter a key topic: the 2023 breakthrough, whey or casein. In 2023, an innovative study addressed exactly these open questions we had. 36 young, healthy men consumed a shake 2 hours before sleeping containing 45 grams of whey protein or 45 grams of casein protein or a calorie-free placebo. Before the shake, all participants completed 60 minutes of endurance cycling to ensure the body was in a recovery state, similar to what happens after an intense workout. What makes this study so valuable is that researchers measured both myofibrillar protein synthesis, which is important for strength training adaptations, and mitochondrial synthesis, more crucial for endurance adaptations. In the case of myofibrillar protein synthesis, which is what interests us when talking about hypertrophy, the results were as follows. Those who took casein recorded an 18% increase compared to placebo. Meanwhile, those who took whey recorded a 35% increase compared to placebo. For mitochondrial protein synthesis, whey produced a 14% greater increase than casein. Surprisingly, whey, better known for its rapid digestion, maintained higher circulating amino acid levels than casein for most of the night. This goes against what most sports nutrition professionals believed until then. The authors attribute whey's superior effect to its higher leucine content. Leucine initiates and sustains the muscle-building process by directly stimulating a fundamental anabolic signaling molecule called mTOR. Whey typically contains about 10 to 12% leucine, while casein contains approximately 8%. After all, why is this leucine so important? Leucine is one of the 3 branched-chain amino acids and is recognized as the most powerful metabolic trigger for muscle protein synthesis. When you consume protein with a high concentration of leucine, this amino acid acts as a key that turns on the muscle-building process, even when other anabolic signals might be reduced, such as during sleep. Leucine activates the mTOR pathway, which functions as the command center for cell growth. When activated, mTOR triggers a cascade of cellular events that culminate in the synthesis of new muscle proteins. This 2023 study suggests that leucine content may be more important than digestion speed when it comes to pre-sleep protein. Whey, even being faster digesting, generated better results by offering a higher dose of leucine, keeping mTOR activated longer during sleep. It's important to note that the dose used in the study was relatively high, 45 grams. This is more than many people usually consume in a typical serving of whey, which generally offers 25 to 30 grams of protein. With smaller doses, the differences could be even more significant in favor of whey, since its higher leucine content would more easily reach the threshold needed to activate mTOR. But won't these pre-sleep proteins harm sleep? A common concern is whether eating before bed could impair sleep quality. After all, wouldn't the body be busy digesting food instead of focusing on recovery processes? The good news is that studies on pre-sleep protein found no negative effects on sleep quality. In fact, some data suggest that certain protein components, such as tryptophan, a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, may even improve sleep quality. Protein also has a minimal effect on insulin when consumed alone, especially compared to carbohydrates. This means you won't have the blood glucose spikes and drops that could disrupt sleep. The only caution would be with individual digestive issues. Some people may experience gastrointestinal discomfort with certain types of protein. In this case, try different sources and observe how your body reacts. Benefits that go beyond hypertrophy. An often neglected aspect in studies on pre-sleep protein is its impact on other aspects of health and recovery beyond hypertrophy. As you can already see, the 2023 study showed benefits for both muscle adaptations and endurance adaptations. This suggests that the strategy may benefit not only bodybuilders and weightlifters but also endurance athletes like runners, cyclists, and triathletes. Additionally, pre-sleep protein can help with overall recovery, reducing delayed onset muscle soreness, and improving immune function during periods of intense training. For people on calorie-restricted diets aimed at fat loss, pre-sleep protein can help preserve lean muscle mass, as well as provide greater nighttime satiety, possibly reducing the temptation for night snacks or food cravings the following day. So, based on these studies, how can we apply this knowledge in practice? Here are the main aspects you should consider. Number 1. Ideal quantity. The 2023 study used 45 grams of protein, but this may be more than necessary for many people. As a general rule, aim to consume at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein before bed. Number 2. Timing. Consuming protein about 30 minutes to 2 hours before bed seems to be ideal. This gives time for initial digestion to begin without causing discomfort when you lie down. Number 3. Protein choice. Based on the most recent study, whey seems to be more effective than casein, contradicting previous recommendations. Number 4. Hybrids may be ideal. Some brands offer whey and casein blends that can provide both the initial trigger of whey's leucine and the sustained release of amino acids from casein. Number 5. Food sources. If you prefer whole foods instead of supplements, options like Greek yogurt, which contains both whey and casein, cottage cheese, or a combination of boiled eggs with milk, can be effective alternatives. Number 6. Caloric considerations. If you're in a caloric deficit, pre-sleep protein becomes even more important to prevent muscle catabolism during the prolonged fasting of sleep. Other pre-sleep protein sources. Although the cited studies focused on whey and casein, there are other protein sources that can be considered for consumption before bed. Plant protein. For vegetarians and vegans, options such as pea protein, rice and pea combinations, or soy can be viable alternatives. Pea protein, in particular, has a decent amino acid profile, including leucine. Egg protein. With excellent digestibility and a good amino acid profile, egg protein, available as a supplement or simply by eating boiled eggs, can be a pre-sleep option. Whole foods. We can't forget that whole foods like chicken breast, tuna, lean meat, firm tofu, or tempeh are also excellent sources of complete protein. A small portion before bed can be effective, although digestion may be slower due to the fat and fiber content of these foods. The key point is to ensure that the chosen protein source has a good content of essential amino acids, particularly leucine, to maximize the potential for protein synthesis during sleep. Common questions about pre-sleep protein. Doesn't eating before bed make you gain weight? This is a common belief, but there's no scientific evidence to support it. Weight gain or loss is determined by total caloric balance, not by the time you consume your calories. In fact, protein has the highest thermic effect of macronutrients, meaning your body spends more energy digesting it. Will protein disrupt my sleep? Unlike heavy meals rich in fat or carbohydrates, isolated protein has minimal effect on sleep quality for most people. Some protein components, such as tryptophan, may even improve sleep. Do I really need more protein if I already consume enough during the day? While reaching your daily protein goal is most important, the 2023 study suggests there are specific benefits to pre-sleep protein beyond simply reaching your total goal. Think of it as additional optimization, especially for those looking to maximize results. What if I train in the morning? Is protein at night still worth it? Yes. Although protein synthesis is higher in the 24 to 48 hours after training, the body is still in constant protein renewal. Pre-sleep protein can help maintain an anabolic state during the prolonged fasting of sleep, regardless of when you trained. For whom is this strategy most beneficial? Pre-sleep protein can be particularly valuable for 5 groups of people. Group 1. People with difficulty reaching daily protein goals. Adding a dose before bed makes it easier to reach higher daily totals. Group 2. Individuals in caloric deficit. During cutting diets, pre-sleep protein can help preserve muscle mass during nighttime fasting. Group 3. Athletes in periods of intense training. Enhanced recovery can be crucial during high-volume or intensity phases. Group 4. Older people. As we age, anabolic resistance increases, making it more important to optimize each opportunity for protein synthesis. Group 5. Bodybuilders preparing for competition. When every detail counts, pre-sleep protein can offer a small advantage that makes a difference. General conclusion about the studies. Pre-sleep protein intake benefits both muscle recovery and endurance adaptations. Surprisingly, whey outperformed casein in this study, likely thanks to its higher leucine density. Consuming a portion of protein before bed can facilitate reaching the daily protein goal, has no disadvantages, and can accelerate muscle growth. This reminds us that sports nutrition science is always evolving, and we need to be willing to adjust our strategies based on the most recent evidence. Implementing pre-sleep protein is a simple tactic that can complement a well-structured training and nutrition program. It's not a magic bullet, but it can give that little extra push to your results, especially when combined with proper training, balanced general nutrition, and quality sleep. If you enjoyed and like content that seeks to combine weightlifting and scientific evidence, aiming for the best possible results, don't forget to check out the video where we present studies on how many hours we should rest before training the same muscle again. It's appearing right now on the screen. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.